A lion does not explain itself to sheep. And yet here you are, still questioning your own roar. How dare you doubt yourself? How dare you question the fire inside you just because the weak and the blind couldn't handle its heat? Look at what's happening now. The same people who mocked you, called you delusional, tried to isolate you. They are scrambling. Their lies are falling apart. Their masks are slipping, and their own web of deception is choking them. They thought they could play you, thought they could twist reality, gaslight you into submission, erase your voice. But here you are, standing tall, unshaken, watching them crumble under the weight of their own sins. The universe is dragging them into the light, exposing them for what they truly are, weak, desperate, hollow. They can't run from this. They can't manipulate their way out. The truth is an unstoppable force, and it is crushing them. And you were always ahead of them. You saw through their illusions when no one else did. You sensed their deception before they even spoke a word. And yet, you doubted yourself. You let their whispers get into your head. You let their ridicule shake you. Never again. If you ever second-guess your instincts again, remember this moment. Remember how every warning you felt, every suspicion you had, was right. Like and subscribe. Not for me. For the others who are still trapped, still questioning themselves, still falling for the lies. The more you engage, the more this message reaches them. The more the truth spreads, the more the enemy's grip weakens. Welcome, chosen ones. But understand this. Being chosen is not just some poetic destiny. It is a curse to the weak and a reckoning to the wicked. Your presence alone disturbs them, haunts them. You don't even have to fight them. Your existence is enough to destroy them. Every time they see you, they are reminded of their own failure, their own insignificance, their own impending downfall. They never hated you because you did something wrong. They hated you because you exist, because you stand for something they can never be, because you see through their lies, and they can't manipulate you like they do the others. They despise you because your truth is their death sentence. And now they are afraid. They feel the walls closing in, the shadows creeping behind them. Their lies aren't working anymore. Their control is slipping through their fingers. The universe is balancing the scales, and they are realizing, far too late, that they were never in control. You didn't need revenge. You didn't need to beg anyone to see the truth. You just needed time. And now, time has delivered justice. Watch them fall, and you, yes, you, the chosen one. Whether you just found your way here or have been standing in the fire with us from the beginning, know this: your presence is power. Every time you engage, every time you push this message forward, you shake their foundation. If you're ready to fully embrace who you are, to watch their lies disintegrate in real time, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop number 77 in the comments. Let the universe know you see everything now. And now, let's break this down step by step. If you truly are chosen, if the fire inside you is real, you won't want to leave. The deeper we go, the more undeniable it becomes. Let's get started. Number 1. The curtain falls, and they can't run from what's coming. A mask can only last so long before it melts under the heat of truth. They thought they could rewrite history, thought they could paint you as the villain, twist reality, and manipulate the weak-minded into turning against you. But the walls are closing in on them now. Their carefully crafted deception is rotting from the inside out, and every false word they spoke against you is coming back to strangle them. They are drowning in their own lies, gasping, scrambling, exposed. And you already won. You don't need to fight battles that are being won for you. You don't need to prove a thing to anyone anymore. The universe has a way of balancing the scales. And now, justice is running its course. The very people who doubted you, who turned their backs on you, are being forced to see the truth. They remember what you said, how you carried yourself, how you never wavered even when they threw stones at you. And now, as everything unravels, they can't ignore it anymore. But let me ask you something. Why did you ever doubt yourself in the first place? You felt their lies, you sensed their jealousy, you saw through their fake smiles, and yet you still questioned yourself. You let their whispers get in your head. You let their gaslighting shake you never again. The power of being chosen isn't just about seeing the truth. It's about knowing it so deeply that no amount of deception can shake you. Stop second-guessing what you already know in your soul. You have been given vision, clarity, a strength that disturbs the weak. And that's exactly why they came for you in the first place. Let me make something clear. You were never the problem. They were. They feared what they couldn't control. They envied what they couldn't become. Their entire existence revolves around illusions, and the moment someone like you enters the picture, someone who sees, who knows, who cannot be swayed, their world begins to crack. You are the hammer they never saw coming. And now, their time is up. The very people who sided with them, who entertained their stories, who blindly followed their deception, are starting to question everything. They see the inconsistencies. They see the desperation in their voices, the panic in their eyes. Their web of lies is collapsing, and there's no way out. And do you know the most satisfying part? You didn't even have to lift a finger. You didn't have to argue, to explain, to convince. Truth has its own way of coming out, and now it's hitting them like a storm with no mercy. The mask has slipped, the performance is over, and they are standing exposed, naked in front of the very people they once deceived. And yet, some of you still hesitate. Some of you still sit there wondering, but what if they get away with it? What if people still don't see the truth? Stop. The truth doesn't need permission to exist. It doesn't need validation from the blind. The truth is, it moves, it shifts, it uproots everything in its path, whether they like it or not, and right now, it is swallowing them whole. They don't get to escape this. They don't get to manipulate their way out this time. Their lies were their downfall. Their deceit was their own undoing. And the very people they turned against you are now turning against them. That's the irony, isn't it? The same crowd that cheered for them when they tore you down is now watching them burn. And there's nothing they can do about it. They spent all that time crafting illusions, painting you as the villain, spinning lies so carefully that even they started believing them. But here's what they forgot. Lies have an expiration date. They rot, they decay, and when the time is up, the stench is unbearable. And now, their lies reek. Look at them, desperate, panicked, scrambling for cover where there is none, trying to rewrite the story again, trying to twist the narrative one more time. But it's not working anymore. People are seeing through it. They are losing control, and all you had to do was stand in your truth. You see, the power of being chosen isn't just about being given insight. It's about being the one thing they can never destroy. You don't need their approval. You don't need their validation. You don't need the acceptance of people who are too blind to see what was right in front of them. Let them choke on their own falsehoods. Let them drown in the mess they created. The universe is balancing the scales, and you are untouchable. So I'll ask you again, why did you ever doubt yourself? Why did you let their words shake you? Why did you let their temporary illusions make you question what you already knew in your soul? You should have known better. You should have trusted yourself. But now, this is your lesson. This is your proof. The next time someone tries to gaslight you, manipulate you, twist the story, remember this moment. Remember what happens when the truth catches up. Remember how quickly illusions crumble when reality knocks on the door. And most of all, remember this. You never had to fight them. The truth fought for you, and it won. Number 3, their strings are snapping, and the puppet show is over. A liar's greatest fear is not being caught. It's being abandoned by the fools who once believed them. For so long, they pulled the strings, played their little games, and orchestrated chaos behind the scenes. They whispered in ears, planted doubts, twisted reality itself to make you the villain. And for a while, it worked. But the show is over now. The people who once believed their lies, the ones who turned their backs on you, they are starting to see it. The web of deception is breaking apart, and the master manipulator is standing in the wreckage, exposed, powerless. You always knew something wasn't right. You could feel the energy shift when they entered the room. Their words never matched their actions. Their smiles never reached their eyes. But you wanted to believe the best in them. Maybe you ignored the signs. Maybe you gave them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you even blamed yourself. Never again. They thought they could control the narrative forever. Thought they could turn people against you, isolate you, strip you of your power. But what they didn't realize was this. Manipulation has an expiration date. Lies can only hold weight for so long before they collapse under the weight of truth. And now, the collapse is here. Look at them, desperate, cornered, watching their carefully built empire of deception turn to dust. The people they once fooled, they're waking up. They're putting the pieces together. And once someone sees the truth, they can never unsee it. And the best part, you didn't have to do a damn thing. No revenge, no fighting, no desperate attempts to prove yourself. You let patience do the work. You let time reveal what needed to be revealed. And now, the consequences are hitting them like a tidal wave they never saw coming. Let them scramble. Let them panic. Let them watch their power slip through their fingers like sand. You owe them nothing. Because here's what they feared the most. They never actually had power. They only had the illusion of power. And that illusion depended on people's ignorance. The second people started seeing clearly, it was over. And now, it is over. So why did you ever doubt yourself? Why did you let their games get into your head? Why did you question your instincts when they were right all along? The next time you feel that unease, that gut feeling telling you someone isn't who they pretend to be, believe it. Because you are not crazy. You're not paranoid. You're not imagining things. You are chosen. And being chosen means you see what others don't. That's why they feared you in the first place. They saw your clarity, your strength, your refusal to be manipulated, and it terrified them. So they did the only thing they could do, tried to make you doubt yourself. But now they have nowhere left to hide. This is your moment. The truth is on your side, and nothing can stop what's coming. So sit back, watch, let the unraveling continue, and never again question what you already know. Number 3, their strings are snapping, and the puppet show is over. A liar's greatest fear is not being caught. It's being abandoned by the fools who once believed them. For so long, they pulled the strings, played their little games, and orchestrated chaos behind the scenes. They whispered in ears, planted doubts, twisted reality itself to make you the villain. And for a while, it worked. But the show is over now. The people who once believed their lies, the ones who turned their backs on you, they are starting to see it. The web of deception is breaking apart, and the master manipulator is standing in the wreckage, exposed, powerless. You always knew something wasn't right. You could feel the energy shift when they entered the room. Their words never matched their actions. Their smiles never reached their eyes. But you wanted to believe the best in them. Maybe you ignored the signs. Maybe you gave them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you even blamed yourself. Never again. They thought they could control the narrative forever. Thought they could turn people against you, isolate you, strip you of your power. But what they didn't realize was this. Manipulation has an expiration date. Lies can only hold weight for so long before they collapse under the weight of truth. And now, the collapse is here. Look at them, desperate, cornered, watching their carefully built empire of deception turn to dust. The people they once fooled, they're waking up. They're putting the pieces together. And once someone sees the truth, they can never unsee it. And the best part? You didn't have to do a damn thing. No revenge, no fighting, no desperate attempts to prove yourself. You let patience do the work. You let time reveal what needed to be revealed. And now, the consequences are hitting them like a tidal wave they never saw coming. Let them scramble. Let them panic. Let them watch their power slip through their fingers like sand. You owe them nothing. Because here's what they feared the most. They never actually had power. They only had the illusion of power. And that illusion depended on people's ignorance. The second people started seeing clearly, it was over. And now, it is over. So why did you ever doubt yourself? Why did you let their games get into your head? Why did you question your instincts when they were right all along? The next time you feel that unease, that gut feeling telling you someone isn't who they pretend to be, believe it. Because you are not crazy, you're not paranoid, you're not imagining things, you are chosen. And being chosen means you see what others don't. That's why they feared you in the first place. They saw your clarity, your strength, your refusal to be manipulated, and it terrified them. So they did the only thing they could do, tried to make you doubt yourself. But now they have nowhere left to hide. This is your moment. The truth is on your side, and nothing can stop what's coming. So sit back, watch, let the unraveling continue, and never again question what you already know. Number 4, the chosen don't follow, they lead the revolution. There is no army more powerful than one soul standing in undeniable truth. If you are here, it is not by accident. The universe does not make mistakes, and it does not move without purpose. You are called to this moment. Whether you are just finding your way to this space or you've been standing firm since the beginning, know this. Your role in this revelation is not small. It is massive. They wanted you to feel isolated. They wanted you to believe you were alone. But look around. You were never alone. The chosen always find each other. No matter how much darkness tries to scatter us, the light pulls us back together, piece by piece, soul by soul. And let's be clear, this is not just a message. This is a movement, a reckoning, a force that cannot be stopped. But what is your role in all of this? To stand, to hold your ground even when the world around you shakes, to trust your inner knowing even when the noise of deception tries to drown it out, to walk boldly in truth even when the liars and manipulators try to rewrite the story. Because here's the truth: the moment you stop doubting yourself, you become unstoppable. For too long, they have tried to twist reality, make you question what you see, gaslight you into submission. But their time is up. This is the season where the chosen rise, where the truth takes center stage, where deception is torn apart piece by piece. And you are part of it. But let me ask you this: are you ready to embrace your role? Are you ready to step fully into the power that has always been inside you? Are you ready to stop apologizing for seeing the truth? Because this is the moment where the fence sitters get left behind. You cannot play both sides anymore. You are either awake or asleep. You either stand in truth or you fall with the liars. Make your choice. And to those who have been here, standing firm, unwavering, I see you. Every time you push this message forward, every time you leave a comment, every time you engage, you are strengthening the force of truth. You are making it harder for the enemy to operate in darkness. You are part of something bigger than you even realize. Because this isn't just about watching the fall of the corrupt. It's about building something greater in its place. And that's why you are here. To be more than just a witness, to be a leader, to be the proof that truth wins, to be the living example that deception can only last for so long before it crumbles under the weight of reality. And before you ask, why me? Let me tell you exactly why. Because you see what others ignore. Because you feel what others dismiss. Because you sense things before they happen. Because you were built for this. You didn't just stumble into this wisdom, you earned it. Through every betrayal, every moment of doubt, every time you were mocked for speaking the truth, you were being prepared. And now, your time has come. So hear me when I say this: you are not small. Your presence in this space is not a coincidence. The fact that you resonate with this message is proof that you were made for more. This is not a moment to shrink. This is not a moment to hesitate. This is a moment to rise, to be loud, be seen, be undeniable. Because if there's one thing the enemy fears, it's this: the chosen ones standing in their full power, without apology, without fear, without doubt. And that's exactly what's happening right now. So are you in? Or are you going to let doubt steal what was meant for you? Make your choice. And if you're truly ready, let the universe know. Drop a comment, engage, push this message forward. The more you stand in truth, the harder it becomes for the enemy to lie. This is your time, our time. Let's move. Number 5, the truth hunts. Down the liars, and there's no escape. A lie can run for years, but the truth only needs one moment to catch it, and when it does, there's nowhere left to hide. This message has found you for a reason. You were meant to hear this, even if you don't fully understand it yet, even if you stumbled upon this space by accident. Your spirit led you here. And believe me, that is not a coincidence. Because right now, you are stepping into a season of revelation. The illusions that once surrounded you are crumbling. The whispers that worked against you are now turning into shouts of exposure. The people who once laughed in your face and stabbed you in the back, they are now realizing their mistake. And let me be clear, this is just the beginning. You felt the shift long before anyone else. You sensed the fake smiles, the insincere words, the jealous glances when they thought you weren't looking. Your spirit warned you. You knew. But still you doubted. Why? Why did you let them manipulate you into questioning what you already knew? Why did you let their deception make you feel isolated, when in reality, they were the ones afraid of you? Because that's the truth, isn't it? They weren't trying to break you because you were weak. They were trying to break you because they knew you were strong. They knew that if you ever fully stepped into your power, if you ever stopped doubting yourself, you would become unstoppable. And that terrified them. So they played their games. They twisted reality. They planted seeds of doubt in the minds of others, hoping to turn people against you. They tried to make you feel alone. But here's what they didn't realize. Truth has a way of coming back around. It doesn't matter how deep they buried it, how many lies they stacked on top of it, how many people they convinced to turn against you. Truth doesn't stay hidden forever. And now, it's coming for them. Look at what's happening. Watch how the same people who once whispered against you are now whispering about them. Watch how their own words are coming back to expose them. Watch how the very deception they used against you is now wrapping around their own necks. This is the part where they panic. This is the part where they scramble to rewrite the story, where they try to twist the narrative one more time, where they realize too late that they have already lost. And the best part? You didn't even have to do a thing. You didn't have to fight them. You didn't have to prove yourself. You just had to wait. Because the truth is fighting for you. And now, there is nothing they can do to stop it. So let me ask you again, are you finally ready to trust yourself? Are you ready to stop second-guessing what you know in your soul? Are you ready to let go of the doubt they tried so hard to plant in your mind? Because this is the lesson. Never doubt your instincts again. Never question your intuition again. You were right. You were always right. And now, everyone else is seeing it too. So stand tall. Walk like you already know how this ends, because you do. They thought they could break you, but instead, they set you free. And that is something they will regret for the rest of their lives. Number 6, the lies are shattering, and you are rising from the ashes. The truth doesn't beg to be seen. It breaks through the cracks, burns through the illusions, and leaves no room for doubt. Look around. Do you feel it? The shift is happening. The very people who once scoffed at your warnings, who dismissed your intuition, who entertained the whispers of your enemies, they are replaying every conversation. Their minds are working overtime, connecting the dots they ignored for too long. And now, they see it. They remember the inconsistencies, the strange shifts, the uneasy feelings they brushed off. They see what you saw all along, and the ones who tried to tear you down. They feel the walls closing in. Here's what they never understood. Light cannot be hidden. No matter how much they tried to twist the narrative, no matter how many lies they stacked on top of each other, truth always finds its way to the surface. It is relentless. It does not weaken. It does not fade. And now, it is standing in front of them, undeniable, unshaken, exposing everything. And the best part? You don't have to say a word. This isn't your battle to fight anymore. The truth is fighting for you. The evidence is louder than any argument, stronger than any explanation. The very weapons they used against you, the lies, the manipulation, the gaslighting, are now the very things destroying them. Because deception is a temporary throne, and their time sitting on it has run out. And now, they are scrambling. Look at them, desperate to regain control, trying to shift blame, pretending they never played a part in it, acting confused, acting innocent. But it's too late. The damage is done, and the people they fooled for so long aren't falling for it anymore. The spell is broken, the fog has lifted, and you are rising. What was meant to harm you is now fueling your elevation. What was designed to break you is now proving your strength. The very thing they used to discredit you is now turning into the reason people are finally seeing you for who you truly are. But let me ask you something. Are you ready for this moment? Are you ready to stop looking for closure that has already arrived? Are you ready to stop explaining yourself to people who are already realizing the truth? Are you ready to let go of the need to be understood? Because the truth no longer requires your defense. Because this is your season of clarity. This is your season of being seen. For too long, they tried to dim your light. They made you feel like you had to prove yourself, like you had to fight just to be believed, like your worth depended on their validation, but not anymore. Your name is being cleared. Your truth is being confirmed, and your power is undeniable. And here's what they fear the most. You're not even bitter. You're not seeking revenge. You're not wasting energy trying to convince anyone. You're simply standing in your truth, and it is shaking their entire foundation, because that's the power of clarity. Once you see things for what they are, you can never unsee them. Once the truth is revealed, it cannot be buried again. And once you step into your power, you can never be controlled. So let them scramble, let them panic, let them try to salvage the lies they built their world on. It's not your problem anymore. You are walking forward. And every step you take is another reminder to them. They lost. Number 7, walk like you've already won, because you have. Confidence is knowing the battle was never yours to fight, because the truth always fights for itself. So now, sit back and watch. Let it all unfold exactly as it was meant to. Every lie is crumbling. Every mask is slipping. Every seed of doubt they planted is withering under the weight of undeniable truth. They don't have control anymore. They don't hold the power. The truth has taken over, and it's not stopping until every last illusion is shattered. And you are free. Free from the weight of proving yourself. Free from the need for validation. Free from the mental exhaustion of replaying past conversations, wondering if you could have done something different. You couldn't have. Because this was always how it was meant to happen. So why hesitate? Why look back? Why waste another second questioning what you already know? The truth is here, and it's stronger than anything they ever tried to build against you. The lies they spun, the manipulation they carefully wove, the division they created, none of it is holding the same power anymore. The people who once doubted you, who second-guessed your words, who entertained the deception, are now seeing the truth with their own eyes. And here's the best part. You don't have to do anything. The universe is working in your favor. It always has been. You didn't need to fight. You didn't need to beg anyone to believe you. You just had to be still. You just had to stand firm. And now, your clarity, your wisdom, your unshakable trust in the process is lighting the way. And that's why you must move forward with confidence. Because this is your season of elevation. This is the moment where you stop questioning and start knowing. This is the moment where you walk in your truth without fear, without hesitation, without doubt. And make no mistake, they feel it. They feel your energy shifting. They feel the power you carry now that you're no longer burdened by their illusions. They see you rising, and it terrifies them. Because deep down, they always knew you had this strength inside you. They just hoped you would never realize it. But you have, and there is no going back. So let them go through their process. let them experience their consequences. It's not your job to fix them. It's not your role to save them from the storm they created. You warned them. They didn't listen. And now they have to learn. Your only job, to stand in your power. To walk forward with the confidence of someone who has already won. Because you have. You survived everything they tried to break you with. You endured the betrayal, the isolation, the doubt. And you still came out stronger. That is why the truth will always align everything as it was meant to be. That is why you will never have to force what is already yours. So move forward, not just with confidence, but with certainty, because the war is over, and you won. Number 8. The weight of their betrayal will crush them, and you won't even have to lift a finger. Karma doesn't wear a watch, but when it arrives, it never misses. They thought they got away with it, thought they could lie, manipulate, deceive, and walk away untouched. Thought they could betray you, break you, ruin you, and never face the consequences. How foolish. Because what they never realized is that the weight of their own betrayal is heavier than anything you could have ever done to them. They built their entire existence on deception, thinking the universe would turn a blind eye. They were wrong. And now, it's catching up to them. They feel it every day, the paranoia, the tension, the whispers in their own mind telling them that everything is about to collapse. Because it is. They thought the truth would never come out. But the truth doesn't just come out, it hunts. And right now, it is hunting them. And here's the best part. You don't have to do anything. No revenge, no plotting, no wasting energy trying to expose them. Because they are exposing themselves. Look at how they move now, nervous, anxious, paranoid. They don't even trust the people they once manipulated. Why? Because they know what they did to you, and they're terrified that someone will do the same to them. They should be. The weight of their own betrayal is suffocating them. The guilt, the fear, the knowledge that they destroyed something real for nothing. And the worst part, they know they can never undo it. And yet, some of you still wonder if they will ever face true consequences. Let me make it clear, they will. Because betrayal isn't just a moment, it's a debt. And debts must always be paid. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter how much they try to run. The bill always comes due. And right now, they're starting to realize they can't afford the cost. They are haunted by their own actions. Every time they try to move forward, they are reminded of what they did. Every relationship they touch now crumbles. Every lie they tell backfires. They wanted to see you suffer, but now they are drowning in their own destruction. And you are rising without revenge, without hatred, without even lifting a finger. Because the greatest revenge was never revenge at all. It was your success. It was you surviving what they thought would destroy you. It was you thriving while they are stuck in the same cycles of deceit and emptiness. And don't be surprised when they try to come back. Oh, they will. They will come back, hoping you've forgotten, hoping you still have a soft spot for them, hoping they can weasel their way back into your life before the universe finishes serving them what they deserve. Don't fall for it. This is not your burden to carry. They made their choices, and now they must live with them. You have already won. And now you sit back and watch as the weight of their betrayal crushes them. Number 9. Your energy is too pure for their darkness, and that's why they fear you. The sun doesn't argue with the shadows. It just rises, and the darkness disappears. They never hated you because you did something wrong. They never envied you because of what you had. They feared you because of who you are. Because your energy, your presence, your light, it exposes them. And that's why they tried to break you. They saw something in you that they could never possess. A purity of spirit. An unshakable truth. A power that doesn't need to control others to exist. That's what terrified them, because while they spent their lives manipulating, deceiving, and scheming, you never had to. You walked in authenticity, in honesty, in integrity, and that made them feel small. So what did they do? They tried to dim you. They whispered about you behind closed doors. They created false narratives, twisted the truth, planted seeds of doubt in people's minds, all to make you seem like the problem. Because if they could turn others against you, they wouldn't have to face what they feared most, the truth about themselves. But here's what they never understood. You cannot dim a light that was never theirs to control. And now they're watching as their lies fall apart, watching as their tactics no longer work, watching as the same people they once turned against you begin to see through the illusion. The truth is catching up, and they are terrified, because for the first time, they have to sit in their own darkness without you as their scapegoat. And that's the part they can't handle. They needed you to be the villain in their story because the alternative was too unbearable. That they were always the problem, that they were always the one operating in deception, in jealousy, in fear. But now, they can't run from it anymore. And the best part, you're not even thinking about them anymore. While they're still obsessing over your every move, still trying to figure out how to twist the story one last time, still grasping for control, you've already moved on. Because your energy is too pure for their darkness. You were never meant to stay in the chaos they created. You were never meant to lower yourself to their level. You were meant to rise above it. And rise you have. But let me ask you this, have you truly let go? Or is there still a small part of you that wonders, what if they change? What if they finally realize the truth? What if they come back? Let me be clear, they don't deserve a place in your energy anymore. They had their chance. They had their time. They had the opportunity to stand beside you, to grow with you, to rise with you. But instead they chose deception. They chose manipulation. They chose to betray you. And now, they must live with that choice. Your role was never to heal them. Your role was never to fix them. Your only role was to be exactly who you are. And if that was too much for them, that's their problem, not yours. So don't waste another second looking back. You don't belong in the past. You don't belong in spaces where your name is only spoken in envy. You belong where your energy is honored, where your spirit is valued, where your presence is seen for the gift that it is. And let me tell you this. The right people will never fear your light. They will never try to dim it. They will never see it as a threat. They will celebrate it. And those are the people who deserve access to you. So stop worrying about the ones who can't handle your presence. Stop trying to make sense of their fear. Stop lowering your energy to fit into places that were never meant to hold you. Because the moment you stop explaining yourself, the moment you stop proving yourself, the moment you stop giving your attention to people who never deserved it, that's the moment you become truly untouchable. So walk forward, head high, energy intact, and let them fear what they could never destroy. Number 10, when you stop chasing, the right things start finding you. The moment you stop running after what is not meant for you, the things that truly belong to you will come knocking at your door. Stop. Just stop. Stop chasing. Stop proving. Stop begging for people to see what they refuse to acknowledge. You were never meant to run after anything. The chosen do not chase. They attract. And the second you realize that, everything shifts. You spent so much time giving your energy to the wrong things, trying to make people understand you, trying to show them your worth, trying to get them to see what was right in front of them. But they couldn't. Not because you weren't enough, but because they weren't meant to. And now, you are done. You finally stepped into a new reality, one where you no longer beg for what is already yours, one where you no longer water dead plants, hoping they'll grow, one where you let go of everything that resisted you, drained you, pulled you away from your true path. And suddenly, everything changes. When you stop chasing, the right things start finding you. The people who see your worth without explanation, the opportunities that align with your true self, the relationships that don't require you to shrink, to prove, to fight, just to be seen. The moment you let go of what is not for you, what is meant for you comes rushing in. But here's the part they don't tell you. Letting go isn't easy. It's painful to walk away from the things you once believed in. It's heartbreaking to watch the people you cared for show you who they really are. It's uncomfortable to stand alone, to trust that something better is coming when you can't see it yet. But that is the price of freedom. You have to release the attachments that are weighing you down before you can rise. You have to let the wrong doors close before the right ones can open. You have to step into the unknown before you can be found by what is truly meant for you. And the moment you do, everything starts falling into place. The people who abandoned you, they start feeling the absence of your energy. The ones who took you for granted, they start realizing they lost something irreplaceable. The opportunities that didn't choose you, they start regretting their mistake. But here's the thing. It's too late for them. Because once you stop chasing, you stop settling. Once you understand your own value, you refuse to lower your standards. Once you see the truth, there is no going back. And that's what terrifies them the most. They wanted you desperate. They wanted you always reaching, always chasing, always proving. Because as long as you were chasing them, they felt important. As long as you needed their validation, they had power over you. But now you don't care anymore. Now you walk away without hesitation. Now you see through their games, their manipulation, their mind tricks. Now you are free. And that is why everything is shifting in your favor. The energy you once wasted on the wrong people, now it is attracting the right ones. The time you once spent proving yourself, now it is building your empire. The love you once gave to people who didn't deserve it, now it is coming back to you tenfold. Because here's the truth, the right things will never make you chase them. What is truly meant for you will recognize you immediately. It will choose you effortlessly. It will align with you without resistance. So stop running. Stop begging, stop proving. Just stand in your truth, stand in your power, stand in your worth. Because when you do, everything that was meant for you will come looking for you. And this time, you won't have to lift a finger. Number 11, the chosen don't seek revenge. They watch karma do the work. Revenge is for the weak. The chosen don't chase vengeance. They let the universe serve justice on a silver platter. You don't have to lift a finger. You never did. The ones who betrayed you, the ones who schemed behind your back, the ones who thought they could walk away unscathed, their time has come. And the most satisfying part? You didn't have to do a damn thing. That's what makes them uneasy, That's what keeps them up at night. They expect anger. They expect retaliation. They expect you to sink to their level. But you never do, because the chosen don't waste energy chasing people who are already running straight into their own destruction. They don't seek revenge, because they don't have to. Karma is doing the work for you, and it's ruthless. It doesn't miss a step. It doesn't forget a detail. It doesn't play favorites. Every lie they told, every knife they drove into your back, every ounce of chaos they tried to stir in your life, it's all coming back around. And this time, there's no way out. And you just watch. You watch as the ones who thought they were untouchable start to stumble. You watch as their circle of enablers begins to crumble. You watch as their reputation, the one they protected at all costs, falls apart in front of their own eyes. Because here's what they never understood. You weren't the problem, they were. They underestimated the weight of their own actions, thought they could play games, manipulate, deceive, and just walk away. But the universe doesn't work like that. What you put out, you get back. And they spent their time throwing dirt on your name, digging a grave for you, not realizing they were digging their own. Now, they're in it. But let's talk about you, because this is your real power, your ability to sit back, move forward, and let the universe handle what's already been set in motion. You don't need to get your hands dirty. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to waste energy on people who no longer hold power over you. That is the difference between you and them. They operate from desperation, from fear, from insecurity. That's why they lash out, why they plot, why they manipulate. They cannot stand in truth, because truth exposes them. But you stand tall, unshaken, untouchable, because you don't need revenge. You don't need to scream your truth. You just let time reveal everything. And now, it's happening. So let them panic. Let them scramble. Let them try to rewrite the story one more time. It won't work. The damage is done. And they did it to themselves. And you keep rising. You keep moving forward, untouched by their downfall, unfazed by their regret. Because you don't need their apology, you don't need their validation, you already won. So stand firm, walk forward, and watch karma finish what they started. Number 12. They regret losing you, but that's no longer your concern. They gambled with your presence, and now they're choking on your absence. Regret is a slow poison. It creeps in when the damage is already done, when the doors they slammed shut won't open anymore, when the words they threw at you come back to haunt them. And right now, they are drowning in it. They thought they could replace you, thought they could discard you like you were just another option, thought they could manipulate, lie, betray, and still have you waiting like nothing ever happened. They thought wrong. Because you don't wait for people to wake up. You don't beg to be seen. You don't waste time trying to convince people of your worth. You are not a choice. You are the loss they will never recover from. And now, they feel it. Every time they encounter someone who doesn't understand them the way you did. Every time they reach for support and find nothing but emptiness. Every time they try to build something new, only to realize that nothing matches what they threw away. That's the thing about losing someone who was real. There's no coming back from it. They can try to distract themselves, try to replace you with people who are easier to manipulate, try to act like they don't care. But deep down, they know the truth. And the truth is this. They lost someone irreplaceable. And here's the part that will haunt them forever. You're not looking back. You're not giving them another chance. You're not entertaining their fake apologies, their sudden change of heart, their desperate attempts to slide back into your life like nothing happened. Because the moment they lost you, your concern ended. What happens to them now? Not your problem. Whether they suffer, whether they learn, whether they keep running in circles, chasing illusions, it no longer concerns you. And that's exactly what terrifies them the most. Because before, they could play their little games, push their limits, take advantage of your patience. They assumed you would always be there, that no matter how much they disrespected you, they could just fix it later. But later never came. You woke up, you realized your worth, and now you've moved on, you've elevated, you've built a world where they no longer exist, and that reality is eating them alive. Because now, they have to live with the consequences of losing someone they never deserved in the first place. And don't be surprised when they try to come back, because they will. They will act like they've changed. They will say they finally see your worth. They will try to convince you that they've grown, that they made mistakes, that they didn't appreciate you enough. But listen to me. That's not your concern. Let them regret, let them suffer, let them lie awake at night, replaying every moment they took for granted. Let them drown in their own choices. Your only job now, to keep moving forward, to never shrink yourself again, to never make excuses for people who mistreat you, to never allow anyone to make you feel like you're replaceable, because you were never the one who lost something. They were, and they will never find another you. And just like that, the tables have turned. The truth has spoken, the masks have fallen, and those who underestimated you are watching you rise. Their regret, not your concern. Their downfall, not your burden. Your only focus now is forward, with confidence, clarity, and power. If this message resonated, let the universe know. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and drop number 77 in the comments. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Because the more we spread the truth, the harder it becomes for the enemy to hide. Your time is now. Keep rising.